Welcome to the Deye Inverter teaching video. This video will introduce you to install and use Deye 3-phase low-voltage hybrid inverter and SE-G5.1 Pro B battery. Unboxing and inspection. Before you begin the installation, please read the product manual carefully and check the types and quantities of accessories included in the package to ensure they are correct. If there are any issues, please contact your dealer promptly. Prepare for installation. When installing, please select a vertical wall with sufficient load-bearing capacity. Ensure more than 500 mm of sufficient heat dissipation space around the product. It is recommended that the inverter be mounted at eye level for easy viewing and operation of the screen. Mount the inverter. Remove the inverter wall-mounted bracket from the packaging box. Place the bracket at the intended mounting position and ensure it is level. Mark the mounting holes for the bracket on the wall. Drill holes at the marked positions using a 12 mm drill bit. Fix the bracket using the expansion bolts included in the packaging box. Lift the inverter and mount it on the bracket. Inverter mounting completed. Assemble the battery. Remove the battery assembly material from the box. Assemble the battery for stacking installation. Place the stacking brackets on both sides of the battery and tighten them with round head. And tighten them with round head bolts. Stacking and assembling the battery modules one by one. Assemble the battery for wall-mounted installation. Install the wall brackets on the both sides of the battery. Then place the battery on the wall, ensuring that the horizontal spacing is at least 200 mm and the distance from the ground is at least 400 mm. Mark the mounting holes for the brackets on the wall. Drill holes at the marked positions using a 10 mm drill bit. Fix the battery to the wall using the expansion bolts included in the packaging box. Assemble the battery for rack-mounted installation. Place the battery mounting brackets on the both sides of the battery and tighten them with round head bolts. Place the batteries into the cabinet one by one and secure them with round head screws. Connect the positive and negative cables to the batteries. Finally, connect the battery communication cable. Battery assembly completed. Battery cable connection. Open the front metal cover before connecting the cable. Use the battery connector accessories included to make the positive and negative cables. Connect the BMS port of the hybrid inverter to ports of the inverter and the battery control box respectively. When connecting wires, rotate to loosen the sealing cap. Before connecting the inverter battery communication cable, wrap the magnetic ring 4 times. Connect the AC cables according to the prompts inside the inverter body. Please refer to this table to select the appropriate cables. AC cable connection. The hybrid inverter is designed with load ports, multifunctional gen port, and grid ports. Connect the AC cables according to the prompts inside the inverter body. A separate AC circuit breaker should be installed between the inverter and the grid. It is also recommended to install an AC circuit breaker between the load or diesel generator and the inverter. PV cable connection. Before connecting, ensure that the DC switch is in the OFF position. Use a multimeter to confirm the voltage and polarity of the PV connector. The voltage should be positive and within the inverter's allowed range. Connect the PV cables to the PV port at the bottom of the inverter. A suitable DC circuit breaker should be installed between the PV and the inverter. Zero export connection. Install the current transformer on the live wire of the grid side and confirm that the direction of the arrow on the current transformer points towards the inverter. Connect the current transformer according to the prompts in the manual. Before connecting a black and white CT cable, wrap the magnetic loop 3 times. Meter connection. There are 2 brands of electricity meters to choose from. The above are the recommended models. Refer to the meter instruction to install the meter. When connecting the meter CT, the CT always faces towards the inverter. For other types of meters, please refer to the inverter manual or contact the Deye after-sales support team. Connect the RS-485 port of the electricity meter to the meter port of the inverter. Earth connection. In addition to the AC side grounding, it is also recommended to ground the inverter casing separately. The ground holes of the housing should be ground to a separate ground bar. The grounding wire of the battery rack can be led into the inverter grounding bar or grounded separately. Communication connection. Connect the data logger to the inverter. Installation completed. After all cable connections are completed, check to ensure that all cable connections are correct and secure. Replace the metal cover plates that were removed during installation. Power on and commissioning. Use a multimeter to confirm that the PV voltage is within the inverter's allowable range. Then close the PV circuit breaker and open the inverter's DC switch. Close the battery circuit breaker and turn on the battery switch. Confirm the battery voltage range, 44.8 volts to 57.6 volts. Adjust the multimeter to the AC voltage setting. Confirm the grid voltage, 220 volts or 330 volts, 230 volts or 400 volts, and then close the grid side circuit break. Finally, press the inverter's start button. Wait for the inverter screen to light up. Click on the gear icon in the upper right corner of the main interface. Enter the System Settings interface. Click to enter the battery settings page. Select Lithium mode and enter the total battery capacity. Press the arrow to turn the page. Set Lithium mode to 00. Choose the grid setting and frequency for the product's installation region, and scroll down the menu for more detailed information. At this point, your hybrid inverter and battery have been initially set up.